everybody, this is Tanya Veit with AAEglass.com. Welcome. Thank you for joining me for this awesome fused glass jewelry video tutorial. This is actually going to be a full-length class. A full-length class that I am giving to the glass community for free. I do this every 4 or 5 months. I try to. We are in the middle of a pandemic, unfortunately, so we will only have one camera angle as it's just little old me, and I was able to film it in the studio yesterday, so it'll be the overhead angle, so you'll get all the important stuff. And then the power went out from a storm, so I had to come home and film the intro because I always film the intros last. Okay, it doesn't matter. However, we are going to do 4 or 5 projects. I'm going to teach you how to etch creatively, creating patterns you have never seen on the internet in the history of the world of fused glass jewelry. I'm telling you, for real. And then we're going to do 4 or 5 projects. We're going to layer them. We're going to create depth. I'm going to give you some cold working tips. I'm going to tell you how to get rid of that haze around your pieces after you fire polish. I'm giving you a fire polishing schedule. I'm giving you handouts. All of this is for free at AAEglass.com. Just go to the page. If you're at the video page right now watching me, on that page there's a little icon, a PDF icon. Just download it into your computer. It's yours. This video is going to be free forever. All I ask is that you support AAEglass.com if you can. Buy your supplies from us. We have free shipping on orders over $200 or over, but that doesn't matter because I had something else. What was it that I was going to say? What was it? Oh, what was it? What was I going to say? What was it? What was it? What was it? Do you guys know what I was going to say? What was I going to say? What was it? We got a Saturday video. Let's go. Let's go. It's a glass fusing party, Cape Coral style. Don't you know? We got a glass Saturday video. Let's go. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Okay, before we start, guys, I just need to go over a couple safety protocols. This isn't any major deal. We are going to use the Etching Cream. It's the only cream that I have used with these screens. It has a nice consistency to it. I don't know about the other ones. I know some of them are foamy. You could get about 100 etchings of the 2x2 inch squares out of one of these bottles. And of course, you can get this at AAEglass.com. You guys know that already. So we will be using this. Just a quick note before we actually start the class. You guys should be wearing the nitrile, the gloves. If this does get on your fingers or hands, don't panic. It's not going to start burning you right away or anything like that. It takes several minutes for a little irritation to start. But you should be using gloves. And also, if you're not in a well-ventilated area, I'll do my etching outside. If you don't have a fan going or a window open, nothing can harm you. It's nothing like that, but it gave me a headache after about 5 hours of etching 4 days in a row. I was in a small room in my home studio. So I would pop a window or put a fan on or etch outside or whatever, anything like that. Also, just to kind of do a little myth buster here, if you guys open your etching cream and it's brown, it does not mean that it's not effective anymore. That's a myth, okay? The etching cream will turn brown a lot of times in the UPS truck. It turns brown after temperatures over 85 degrees. So it's still good, it still works. I know there's this rumor going around the glass world that it doesn't work anymore if it's brown. That's simply not true. What else? You guys have the supply list in your newsletter. You'll have the supply list in the PDF. A couple other things you'll need are just regular studio tools, breakers, glass cutter, grosers, and then a little Tupperware container filled with water. You're going to want that before you start etching. Just a little, 6-inch. You'll see in the video, but have that ready to go. What else, guys? I think that's it. We're ready to rock, but definitely wear your mask. You don't want to be inhaling. No drinking this, no eating this, no licking this, nothing like that, okay? All right, guys, without further ado, wait till you see this. Okay, guys, so it's going to be a little bit darker for the frame here. You're going to see a little bit of shadowing, as you can see. I just can't get these lights on without shining so brightly on the Dichroic that you just can't see what's going on. So, all right, before we get down to business, we've got some basics we have to go over with the Dichroic and with a volume rule, the 6mm golden rule. If you know all this, you can skip past it, but you might pick up a trick or two. So let's talk about what we have in front of us right here. So these three glasses, our dichroic glasses, are Aurora Borealis. And there are three ways that I finish my dichro jewelry, okay? And this is going to be important because with the projects that we do, I'm going to say, you know, we're going to finish it, blah, blah, blah. One of these three ways, okay? So the first one right here is what I call strong color. So strong color means the dichroic does not have any type of clear cap over it. No clear cap over it. It's just dichro in its raw form. And when you do that and you have the dichroic on top showing exposed, it is very strong in color, okay? So we're going to call that strong color. See how bright and just in your face that is? It looks very, very metallic. This next one here, it's actually like a satin finish with a little bit of gloss. I do see that it's a little difficult to see on camera. I'm looking at my cell phone shot right here. But it's got a very light clear dusting of bullseye clear powder over the top. Doesn't have to be crystal clear. That doesn't apply for what we're doing. Just clear, crystal clear would work. And it's a very thin layer, which we're going to do on one of the projects, and I'll show you when I use that. So we've got strong color with no clear cap. This is it, just really strong. We've got the powder dusting, which brings it down to a satin finish. And you know, you can get that kind of speckly look on the black dichroic. And then we have actually capped dichroic, okay? So when you put a clear cap over it, guys, when you put a clear cap over your dichroic, what does it do? It does two things. One, it mutes the color. So if you look at these two side by side, you can see clearly on the camera that this is very strong color and this is not as strong. It mutes it a little bit. And there's times that you want to do that and times when you don't want to do that. But what does the clear provide that the strong color can't provide? And that is depth. That is simply by capping your glass with clear, okay? Capping your dichroic glass with clear. So clear brings depth. So you need to know the two differences of how that looks. And, you know, sometimes I leave it the dichro exposed, which is, you know, bare naked, baby, okay? Or sometimes I like to clear cap it because I want to have depth, okay? So let's just discuss those three things. So it's strong color, powder dusting with clear powder, which I'm going to show you on camera, and then capping with clear for depth. Capping with clear for depth, but toning down the color, toning it down a little bit, okay? All right, so that's the first thing. That was pretty easy, all right? Now, when you guys are cream etching, you are going to need to know which side of the dichroic to etch on. So guess what? The first one is really easy for you. If it's black back dichroic, boom, boom. Obviously, this is the dichroic side. That's half our battle. I like stuff like that, okay? Now, sometimes on the clear, it's a little more difficult to tell. So right now, I have this clear piece on a piece of, well, it's the back of another piece of dichroic, but I've got it on a piece of black glass. We're just gonna call this black glass for now. You know, let me just get the black, where is it? There it is, okay. This is just plain black glass. And I put the clear dichroic on the black. First of all, that will help me. I tell my students when I have that jewelry boot camp, and boy, guys, am I gonna have some whoppers of a boot camp next year, because we are going party time, crazy style, because we've all been in quarantine. But anyways, clear dichroic. Okay, so what you have to tell yourself is don't let it confuse you, okay? So what is dichroic glass? The glass is bullseye glass or whatever manufacturer you're using with just a coating on top. That's all it is. When you take away the coating, guys, you're left with the glass, okay? That's where the etching comes from. So this is a piece of black thin bullseye glass that has a metal oxide coating. That's the dichroic. You remove this, what do you have? You still have the glass. Same thing with the clear, okay? So, but we've got to find the right side to etch, correct? If you etch the wrong side of the glass that does not have the dichroic, what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing. You're the only one that's going to know it. You're going to be in your studio and you go, oh my gosh, I just left it on there for 6-7 minutes and it didn't do anything. It will etch the glass and make it cloudy. All you got to do is rinse it off and go back and laugh at yourself and then find the dichroic side. But we would rather not go through all that. So you can see, I'm going to get that glare. Look how shiny that is on camera. This is Black Cherry Aurora Borealis. You're going to hear me say, this is my favorite, this is my favorite. All of the packs that we have now at AAEglass.com are my favorite. That's specifically the point of what are the dichroics that I like to etch and engrave and work with in scenic layering. These are it. Aurora Borealis is a pretty strong coating. This is Cyan Copper Aurora Borealis. Pretty easy to tell which is the dichro side. Okay, you can see how that's kind of, you know, toned down, guys? That's the clear side of the glass. Ready? Watch this. Even on camera, you can see this. Look at this. Now it'll really, come on, give it to me, baby. There you go. There, now look at that. It's obvious that's the dichro side. But sometimes it's not when it's the lighter blue colors. So what you want to do, just take a toothpick or a barbecue skewer, and what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the glass. This is going to be absolutely impossible to show on camera. So I'm going to try to describe this the best way that I can. When you put the wooden skewer or the toothpick or something else on the glass, it is going to cause a reflection of the skewer itself. The skewer is pointed on the end here, okay? So I look at this reflection and it is the dichroic coating that is causing that mirror reflection, okay? So I look at it and you can see that the point of the reflection and the point of the skewer, there's a gap between the two reflections. The points do not touch. I'm talking about the reflection and the stick, okay? Now, I know that that is the clear side of the glass because there's a space. That means that it's giving the space. It's reflecting with the dichroic coating, but this is the clear side of the glass. When I turn this over, okay, and always go above, use the clear on a black piece. This is really hard to describe, guys, verbally. I can tell you that. You know, when you're working with clear, put that black behind it. It's so much harder to do it without having that contrasting black. See how nice that is? Now I put the reflection together, guys, and the points are touching. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take still shots of this. I'm going to throw them up there. I'm going to do that after in my editing because it's important to see. So point to point, when the reflections are touching, guess what? That's the dichroic side of the glass. The reflection is always still there. Look at it. You can see a space between the 2 points. That's the clear side of the glass. You are etching the dichroic coated side of the glass. Okay, everybody? Whoo! Gosh, that's hard to explain. Okay. It's not hard to show in class. It's hard to explain verbally, but we will throw some still shots up there. All right, that's the second basic thing. We got to know which side of the glass we're etching to get those beautiful patterns and designs. Now, I want to talk about the 6mm rule. I will pound this in your head every single video I make because I just want to make sure that everybody gets it. Now, glass wants to be 1/4 inch thick, which is 6mm, guys, okay? When you guys buy glass, it doesn't say this glass is 1/8 inch thick, 2 1/8 equal. No, it doesn't work that way. That goes by millimeters, doesn't it, okay? We're using, I'm not gonna get confusing. We're gonna get simple here. We're gonna be simple in this video. I am using thin dichroic glass, which is 2mm, okay? Glass wants to be, ding, 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 6mm thick. This is 2. How many layers of this thin glass that I'm using have to get to 6? 1, 2, 3. 3 layers, guys. 3 layers equal a perfect fuse. The pendant that I'm going to demonstrate first is this right here. I did not even, I see this is going to be an issue, huh, guys? This is what stinks about filming dichroic videos. I didn't even cold work this, guys. Cut, fuse, done, baby doll, done, bye-bye, baby. That's it, okay? So that's pretty cool. This first project we're gonna do is this. The better you can cut, the less cold working you have to do, meaning grinding, you know, cutting with saws, things like that. I didn't do anything. I fused this and I'm done. This is totally sellable, okay? Now, so, okay, I digress. What else is new? You know, 3 layers is all we're gonna use. How you get there, it doesn't matter. Remember that, you know, the nut game, guys, the nutshell game? It's kind of like that, okay? How I stack it all the way up doesn't matter as long as it gets to be 6mm, so I have a nice fuse. All right, so if you're cutting shapes, you want your shapes to be the same, it will just fuse out. Let me give you an example. Here we go. All right, so I want to have strong dichroic on top. That's going to be my piece. Yeah, it's kind of boring, but let me just get to the basics here, all right? So how did I get here? I went 2mm black, 2mm equals thin, 2mm equals thin. I'm using thin glass through this whole video, so I have lots of thin black for bases, guys, and have lots of thin clear for capping or adding depth, etc., etc. All the dichroic mostly on the market is thin at this point. Black, 2 millimeter. Where's my other piece of black glass? Why do you do this to me on camera? I just had this all set up because I was messing around playing the nutshell game. All right, and then 2 millimeters. That's only 4 millimeters. That's not enough. The glass is going to dog bone in, right? And then here's 6. There's my black dichroic, all right? Black back dichroic. So there it goes. That's one way to do it. We're talking about just layering up. We haven't even gotten to the etching. Fast forward this part if you already know all this, okay? All right, now let's say I did black thin glass right here as my base. I want clear dichro on in the middle, so this can go down or this can go up. We're going to talk about that later. And then I have clear cap because I want to have this nice depth right here, but it does tone the color down. I have 2 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, okay? I can't add another clear on top for 8 millimeter thinking I'm going to add more depth. You can, but that gets into a damming issue, and we're not doing that today. I told you it was going to be simple today. And then it would stretch a little bit. So any design that you create with your glass, guys, the design will stretch out and it won't be the design anymore, okay? So 3 layers. How you get there, I don't care. Can I put the clear in the middle and then clear dichro down? Yes. Okay, guys, you see what I'm saying? There's many different scenarios. For this technique, we're going to be using dichroic glass, clear, and black thin glass, my sweet little baby pies, all right? So we got that done. We understand that process. Before we get into the etching process, everybody, I'm going to show you some photos of some of the dichroics. Etching is a skill. It can be very easy, or you can get into some more complicated things. But once you know the times, how long to leave the etching cream on, and understand the process, it becomes very fun, and you can get some amazing results. So let's take a look at some of the dichroics that I've etched already, and I'd like to discuss what are strong colors, the stubborn ones to etch, but they give great results, and then we'll go ahead and get into our Zentangle floral pendant. Okay, guys, this voiceover is necessary because you need to have a good understanding of what the dichroic that you're using, and also the etching process. So certain dichroics take different amounts of time to etch. Look in your handouts. I say it over and over and over again because I just want you guys to get this technique. It's so fun and so cool, and most of the information that you need, if not all, is in the PDF handouts. The piece of dichroic you're looking at right now is called Target Rainbow. It's something a little different, and it's something that I had CPS coat for us for all of the Tanya Veit dichroic square packs. Right now, guys, we already sold out of the pre-order for July 31st, and I talked to CBS again today. Today is the 23rd, and they are going to do another round of all of this dichroic based on your orders. Because of the pandemic, they're running with a skeleton crew in California, and they also they're not just, coating a bunch of glass and leaving it around for people to order. They are going to make the glass to order for us, so they need to have a general idea. It's what the world we live in at this moment, guys. So this is called Target Rainbow. So go ahead and get your orders in today if you haven't already. We did set the pre-order for today, and the pre-order date, the ship date is on there. Please reserve your orders. We had several hundred ordered already, and those are already done and on the way, and they're ready to do more. Besides that, thank you for the plug, guys. All right, this is Target Rainbow, something that I have put into my scrap packs. You can read what's in each one of the square packs. And notice that there's just a thin rim of blue around the edge. I had CBS do this because Target Rainbow is a little different than Rainbow 1. It's the same colors, but you know how in Rainbow 1 you get half the sheet is cool and some of that blue is so dark and you just never know what you're going to get. And I used to hate that when I would order dichroic all the time, and sometimes I would get consistently the really dark blue parts, and I just kind of threw it in my drawer. You won't have any of those anymore, so that's pretty cool. Rainbow 1 is the easiest glass to etch. When I mean easy, I'm talking about the time it takes for the etching cream to get through. It's all the same process. It's not a very strong coating, so the Rainbow 1s take about 6 minutes, black or clear, and it's super easy to etch. It's quick. It's a quick thing to etch. And we do have, like I said, we have just a rainbow pack. And this next picture right here is a Cyan Copper Target Rainbow. Notice that cyan and that really deep copper color in the middle. Any of the dichroics with the copper color, magenta, the pinkish magenta color, silver, those dichroics, they take a lot longer to etch, almost double the time. So please refer to your handout. When you have scrap packs or square packs or whatever, and you're looking at the dichroic, you have to make a reasonable decision on what that glass is, because it's not all labeled for you if you're buying them in big packs, right? So this is what I'm trying to teach you. If you have a piece that has magenta or pink, like that magenta, pink, silver, those colors are going to take longer to etch. So when you look at your handout and say, okay, I've got this magenta here. I see magenta actually in my piece, although I don't know the name of it, it's going to take longer to etch. This is what I'm trying to teach you so you can, dominate this technique. Another thing to remember is, guys, when, especially if you're new to dichroic, all glass suppliers show a big round of dichroic. When it comes from the factory, it's 19 inches round. It's huge. So all pictures at all glass manufacturers and all glass suppliers will show you the original 19-inch round. Now, whatever size you're ordering comes from that sheet. So a lot of times it's potluck of what you're going to get. By doing the Target Rainbow, we cut the pieces to 2 by 2, but by doing the Target Rainbow coating, you're guaranteed to get the lightest portions of the glass, because the Target Rainbow coloring gives you the lightest parts of the rainbow. So this way, you're not going to get any dark colors. You're going to get a little bit of everything. Some of my favorite dichroic to etch into is Reptilian, and then you see here Cool Lava. We're going to do what's called a rainbow etch on these, and we're going to stop the etching cream early in one of the projects, and we're going to bring out a myriad of colors. These two are also in the mega pack, of course, guys. We have black and clear, but you can't go wrong with any of the packs, guys. You can get the mega pack, you can get the rainbow pack, any of that stuff. You can't go wrong. I'm going to use it all in the video. Just get what you want to get, or get one and then later on add another. The next one are stripes. Anything with stripes, guys, takes a longer time to etch too, between 10 and 14 minutes. This is the cayenne. I'm sorry. This is the dark red stripes. The stripes packs come with 8 in black and clear. And I see, every time we have a dichroic sale or something, the stripes are always left. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these people just don't know. Stripes are amazing. You get the gradient of color. And then also when you're etching, as you will see, I will do a magenta stripes in one of the projects. They just brings out a myriad of colors. They're amazing. And when you etch, it's just, you get gradients. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love stripes for etching. The next dichroic that we're going to use is the Aurora Borealis. I picked 6 of my favorites that I engrave and etch into, and also create other scenic dichroic pendants with. These 6 are my favorite. In my opinion, these 6 are all you need of the colors of Aurora Borealis. And we have that pack in black and clear. And they're just, you can't go wrong. I find myself, whenever I teach a class and giving demonstration, I go right for the Aurora Borealis stuff. And these packs are 2 by 2 inch squares, guys. So you're going to get, they match the screen size exactly. It's just going to be easy peasy. Speaking of the screens, as you can see here, we have 36 designs. You can buy them by the 2. They're very inexpensive, or you can buy a huge mega pack that has them all. But you can see some of the patterns here. I am just absolutely having a blast with this, guys. And I can't wait to create more for you. So you can just see, the vast majority. You can just etch any pattern you want on any color that you want. Just a world of possibilities. So let's take a look at some of the etchings that I've done very quickly here, just to kind of go over this with you. This first one is the Mendy pattern. I love it. You don't need to layer this guy. This is just beautiful, but that's on Rainbow 1. I like to, the very intricate patterns, I tend to do the Rainbow 1, the Target Rainbow, anything in the Rainbow pack, because you can get the etchings very quick, and I don't have to worry about the etching cream bleeding or anything. This one next here is the tiles, and then we also have this floral pattern, which is amazing. You notice the pink there. Just based on these two, you would see the pink. And even if you didn't know what the dichroic was, you would know, okay, there's pink here. So I'm going to go ahead and look under my chart that Tanya gave me and see that the pink, magenta, color takes a longer time to etch, so that is what you would go with. Anything with a tooling pattern, you can see underneath, reptilian, cool lava, all these guys will etch a little bit longer. I'm not going to quote the time, it's in your handout, but you know, again, make that you know, rational decision. Make good decisions. You know, if you see a tooling pattern and you see pink on there, you know it's going to be the longest to etch, which is around 13, 14 minutes. And then these last two here, these are the rainbow etches that I was referring to. So this was using the fog screen on cool lava and reptilian. And what you do is you take the cream off early. And these are very strong coating colors, and it won't etch all the way through, but it will bring out other layers of dichroic coloring that are underneath. So that's pretty awesome, guys. So just remember, make notes, make reasonable decisions. I'm always here in the AAEglass.com education, inspiration, and supplies Facebook group for you to tag and ask questions. And it's a very easy and simple process, guys. You're going to be surprised at how easy it is, and especially with the results that you achieve. Okay, guys, so now you have a little bit more of an understanding of the colorings and the dichro and the etching. I had to show you pictures for that because it's just too rough to show on camera. But all right, when you buy your screens, they come in a 2-pack and the designs are listed, or I see a lot of you got the mega pack of all 36 designs. So excited for you guys. This is so much fun. I really had a blast doing this. Okay, now the screens, when you get them, they will have, this is one of my older screens when I first started coming up with the process and making my designs, but you'll see it'll say print side up or something like that, this side up. So you know, if the words are backwards, you are on the wrong side of the screen. The wrong side of the screen is a duller blue, and this is kind of a, you know, an ocean blue kind of color. And so this is, you can see it's a lot duller and that has like a sheen to it, okay? But you want to be on the right side with etching. It's going to come 2 to a pack. You're going to see that the images on the screen are a little bit closer together in the center, okay? So all you're going to do is cut that, and there's a reason why for that. You just cut the screen, okay? Oh, I love both of these guys. I mean, look at this Mendy right here. Look at this picture right here. It's incredible, okay? I'm gonna keep on, these take a long time to design, but I've got a few of them. We're gonna go with more of those. These are just so easy. Okay, now, anyways, so, and then one side of the screen, you'll have where you cut, which will just be a little bit of the blue screen here, but one side of the screen will have about 3/4 of an inch. That's the side you're going to put the cream on. You want more of a runway, okay? And so I think we'll do, well, I don't know. They both look awesome. You know what? You've seen this one, right? You see how that one looks. I love this one. Let's do this one. I want to show you how fantastic this, they all look good. What are you saying? Okay. All right. Now, what you're going to need, the pendant that I'm going to make here, this pendant is going to be strong color. Strong color. I'm going to leave the dichroic exposed, which means, guys, that I am not clear capping this, okay? So I still need my 3 layers, and I find just a little trick. This will all be in your handouts. I'm actually writing full handouts. Whether you buy supplies from us or not, I'm giving the handouts to everybody, okay? So you just go to the page and download the PDF, all right? And the detailed screens, this is a very detailed screen. I had to go back to the design board about 4 times, 5 times with this one because I had to keep widening lines because they wouldn't work. So I make it, I etch it, it didn't work, I go back. That's why this whole Saturday video thing takes a long time, guys. You know, 6 to 8 weeks usually to get one going. Anyway, sorry. This is the detailed screen. I find that with detailed screens, I don't like super detailed, like the Zentangle. I don't like to clear cap them. Remember, clear capping is wonderful, but it also mutes the dichroic, okay? And so it would be a little harder to make out the design. These are just tips, all right? You guys are gonna practice and, you know, make little samples and things. You might like it clear cap, but for this one, we're going strong. This is how you set up an etching press, okay? You're going to have a 2 by 2 inch piece of throwaway glass. This is going to get etching cream on it. It's not gonna do you anything good. So a 2 by 2 inch thin, must be thin, okay? Now, my pendant is going to be 3 layers. I have to have 3 layers, and we know the dichro is gonna be on top for a strong color. So I'm gonna have 1, I'm going to have 2, and then my dichro is going to be 3 layers, correct? In order to get a nice fuse so I don't have to cold work. We'll get into cutting it up and all that good stuff later. Now, I'm going to be using Rainbow 1 for this, guys. Rainbow 1 takes 6 minutes to etch. This information is in your PDF that I'm giving to everyone, guys. I etched over 110 pieces. I think it was 112, 113 total by the time this was all done, right up till today. And I tested it on my phone over and over. I wasted about $3,000 in Dichro, guys, to get this done, okay? So I've given you the times to be successful. So, you know, of course there's gonna be some exceptions somewhere, but generally it's all there. This is going to be my runway. You're gonna need this, and I'm gonna show you why. I've got my Rainbow 1 piece of glass here. We're gonna go on black, okay? Now, I'm not really worried about cleaning this right now because I'm going to get etching cream all over it, and boy, do these pieces need to be cleaned afterwards, no joke. All of the dichroic that comes in the Tanya Veit Dichro packs, there's 5 different things. I'm gonna be using a little bit from all the packs, guys. Any of these, you cannot go wrong. Any of the packs, you can't go wrong, okay? Any of them, all right? You can etch and do any of them. But the rainbow pack is, this is the one that takes the least amount of time to etch. It's 6 minutes. So I'm gonna have a phone right next to me for a timer. And then I'm also gonna have my little bucket of water that I showed you in the intro, and you're just gonna throw the screen right in there. You don't want the etching cream to dry in the screen. It will dry. If it dries in the screen, it turns to crusty stuff, and you're gonna ruin the screen. As many of you know, this is a mask on the screen that we make here in-house. Everything is made here at AAE Glass in Cape Coral, Florida. Not everything, duh, you know what I'm saying, the screens, okay? And this is a mask over here, a photosensitive mask. Eventually, this mask will start to peel away. Eventually. Lots of prints, guys. It's gonna cost you 30 cents each time you use it, and I'm guaranteeing it for 20 prints per design. That's a lot, guys. It's a lot, okay? But anywho, now, notice that the design, all of the designs are 2 inches, and so is the dichroic. I had my staff cut. It's all planned, guys. It's all planned, all right? I said, you gotta cut them the same size. You don't have to cut glass. You just get the dichroic in a square, you put the darn thing on top, and you go. I'm telling you, this is gonna be simple. All right, so the first thing that I do is I just line up my design right on the square. Very easy to do. You can see the dichroic through. You can see if you're off. You know, there's a storm brewing here. So this is, you know, besides COVID, hurricane season's coming. So it's like, oh my goodness, it's dark is what I'm trying to say. It's only 1:30 here, and it's dark because the storm is happening. I take painter's tape. I don't want you guys to use any other tape. You can use frog tape, which is also a painter's tape, besides painter's tape. Why? Because it's less tacky. You can actually pull the mask off if you go too thick. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue. I'm gonna tape this right down. I've got my runway up here, which is butted up against the glass. You see that, guys? My black runway. And then I've got this piece right here. I don't tape this down, obviously. It would interfere with the etching. Now, guys, the reason why I'm doing this runway is because when you start to etch, if you have to start over here off the screen with the etching cream, you're gonna get a little blurb right here. And I found that the edges of the glass were just having this blob of etching cream. Now, granted, this is 2 by 2 inch. This is probably not gonna be your whole pendant. You're gonna get 2-3 pendants out of each 2 by 2 inch piece of glass, which I'm going to show you, okay? Good, all's well, all's good. So, if you mess up a little bit on the edges, you'll see what I'm saying. An excess etching cream on the edge, so what? You gotta learn, everybody's gotta learn, so what? We're gonna cut these up through this whole darn video, okay? Who cares? You're not gonna leave this whole thing a square. Don't be hard on yourself. Just get it right the next few times that you do it, all right? Now, I'm gonna take a little bit of a cup here. All right, everybody, if you are not in a well-ventilated area, meaning a door open, a fan open, you're just like I told you in the intro, you're gonna wanna, you know, wear a mask. It just, you know, it gave me a headache after doing it 5 hours over and over again. So let's see, I don't know, it probably would etch through here in the end, but for the video, I should be okay. You guys might wanna use glass or some kind of heavy duty plastic container. Guys, here's the thing, this is where you're gonna mess up, okay? This is dichroic, it's not cheap, right? Etching is cheap, but the dichroic is not cheap. What I want you to do is if you pull too much over the screen, there is a technique to this. If you just pull all this etching cream that you dump on here over the screen, guys, guess what? You're going to force it through and you're not going to get a clean etch, clean and crisp etch. All right, let's take a look at this piece one more time. Look how nice and clean and crisp that is. Guys, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. If you stop right now and listen and heed what I say at this part. You guys know me. When I say it's serious, it's serious. It's important. I cannot believe I just did that. Well, we're going to go with it. Yep, I just did what I was going to tell you not to do, not to drop it on there. But guess what? We're already going, and I don't have anyone here to help me with the filming, so we got to go. All right, you've got up here, right up here, I'm just going to take, I'm leaving half always. Here's why. Watch this. I'm going to take just a little bit. I want you guys 45-degree angle, and I want it to be firm. Okay, watch what you're doing. There's the bump. I just hit the bump, which is where the two glasses join together, and I'm just going to come down. This is going to etch a little bit through there. Now, guys, do not double swipe. Do not double swipe. That's, in other words, don't do it again. What's going to happen is you're going to push the stuff in here that you already have, and you're going to push it, and it's going to be a wider line, all right? Now, at this point in time, this is a time-sensitive issue. I'm going to do this again with another screen to redeem myself because I cannot believe I dropped my popsicle stick. You know what, guys? I make mistakes. Yeah, okay? You're not talking blah, 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 gab, gab, gab. You're hitting your timer for 6 minutes on your phone now. Here's the two things I don't want you to do. I don't want you to swipe twice, one time, okay? What do you do with the other up here? Watch this. You're going to put it. This is a loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey. And you're going to just, I'm smoothing it over the top so the etching cream doesn't dry. We need to discuss this very quickly, and you need to understand this, okay? So it's one hard swipe, then loosey-goosey spread. Let's call it loosey-goosey spread. All right, you can see the excess on there. Why do you do the loosey-goosey spread? Loosey-goosey, guys, is because I tried it already where you would put the etching cream on, and then you'd swipe it, and then you would remove the screen, take the Dichroic away, and then look at it. Now, what's happening is it's giving such a thin layer of the etching cream, that's all it takes, through the screen, everybody, that I was pulling it out, and guess what? It was drying. It just dried, like within 2 minutes. The etching cream actually dried on there, and then it crusted on the glass. It took me forever to get along, and it didn't etch. So by putting the loosey-goosey extra cream over it, that's why I only took half, guys. It prevents it from drying. Set your timer for 6 minutes. Rainbow 1 is 6 minutes, okay? Rainbow 1 is 6 minutes. Rainbow 2 is like 8 to 11. Look at your handout. You're going to need that, okay? Write it down on your work table if you have to. We'll have questions. The group's open. So this is going to go for 6 minutes, and let's see what we got, and I'm going to do another one. Now, once you have this loosey-goosey stuff on here, it's all good. You can scrape it. Watch, you guys watch. This is amazing. Scrape it and put it back in the cup, okay? So let's let 6 minutes go and see what happens. Okay, everybody. I'm actually glad I dropped that popsicle stick, and I am leaving it in here because I'm going to show you what happens when you have excess Dichroic when you're not careful, okay? All right, so we're at 5 minutes, 45 seconds, time-sensitive issue. I want you to lift up the screen, remove, okay? Now, this is going to be over-etched a little bit. You can see right there in the center, it has an excess of of etching cream. The rest of it actually looks like a design. That's where I dropped the stick. Remember, boom, okay? We don't want to do that. So this has to go, and this is where it counts to clean. I need to clean this in the sink thoroughly. Don't worry about this stuff right here. We got to get the etching cream off. If you over etch, guys, if you let it, it'll bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed and blob out, and I'll show you guys in a troubleshooting section what happens when you just etch all the Dichroic off. All right, so let me go ahead and rinse this. I want to rinse front, and I want to rinse back, okay? Front and back. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, guys, we're back. Before I show that to you, we need to take care of all this business. This is a lot of cream, all right? What I'm going to do now is make sure you remove your piece of glass. Watch this. I'm going to scrape it. Look how much extra I have right here, all right? And then I always like to mix it in with the old stuff and then start with a new squeegee. That's what I like to do. I've done it both ways. I'll be honest. I don't like it to crust up on the squeegee because if it crusts up on the squeegee, this stuff dries in the air. If I keep on letting it be on here and then, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how long I'm doing this, 2, 3 hours, who knows how long. I've been going about 5 hours a stint. This starts to get crusty. You're going to pull a crusty little ball of this stuff. It's going to block the screen, guys. All right, so just start with a fresh squeegee. Have a towel, something that you don't care about, you're going to throw away. wipe the squeegee, generally wipe it, and then I just give this a good little mix, and then I put it over here. It's a lot less messy to work from a little container than it is the jar. Now I got this guy here. What do? Pull the tape off first. Okay, you could go wash it right away. I'm gonna have a little bit of a, I think I'm gonna take a clip from another video and show you how I wash the screen because I can't get all the camera work into the washing room by myself. So I'm like, I can't get on the camera with the washing room by myself. Like, oh my God, you poor me. I'm such a whiner. Okay, so what I want you to do though is have Tupperware right here. Watch this. Just throw the screen. We do not want that etching cream to dry in that screen. You will ruin the screen. One more time. No etching cream, dry in screen, ruin, and then you'll scream. So none of that. I gotta tell you something, guys. I soak about 5 or 6 in here until then I go wash them all at once, and then I just put them on, you know, a paper towel to dry. They take about 3-4 hours to dry, or you can take a blow dryer and blow dry it with cool air. Cool, hot, not hot air. Hot air will melt this and burn your hand and melt the screen. Cool air, cool. Okay, there'll be instructions with all this, but I just leave it in there. I just kind of give it a shake and leave it in there. Now, how long can you leave it in there? Because this water's gonna get dirty. Guys, I'm telling you what I do. I haven't sat here and stared at the water for 4 hours, so I don't know. But I'll tell you this, I use a kitchen timer, and watch what I do. I go to 30 minutes, okay, on the kitchen timer, and I just set it. I'll put it this way so you guys can see. I just set it. When this goes off, I wash all the screens. You know, it's etching cream, guys. It can't be good for the mask, probably, right? But I've done it this way since I started this, and it's worked out fine. So you'll have maybe 4 or 5 in here. When the 30 minutes is up, you go wash them if you're doing a lot of etching, okay? So you got to be dry before you do the next etching. So, you know, if you ordered 4 screens or 6 or 1 even, be ready. Your Dichro's already cut for you from the Tanya Dichro pack. Etch it all at once. Dry the screens at once. If you want to go and do another round, you just cool blow dry it, all right? No big deal. So, guys, you know, I told you I'm not going to wear gloves for this because they bring me down, man. They bring me down, okay? But you guys wear some gloves. I want to show you one more time. We're going to call this the quick step. And so I've got my kitchen timer for 30 minutes. When the 30 minutes is up, I wash the screens in the Tupperware. Let's do this quick. No mumble jumble. Quick step. We'll do another one. Super quick. And I'll have to make that maybe a chapter for you guys. It says quick. Do it quick. We're gonna go with rainbow. Okay, you know what? Let's go with Aurora Borealis. How about that, guys? Want to do some Aurora? Oh, how about some black cherry Aurora Borealis? Aurora Borealis. I use it all the time. Here's my runway. Ready? I said I wasn't going to talk, and here we go. Runway. That helps the cream, so you can push it down. Runway. Masking tape. Go to the spot in the screen where it has the most blue screen. You can call that a runway too, okay? That helps you out a bit. Here's how I do it. I take my tape. I go right to, I gotta have it to be up the right way, don't I? I'm gonna go this way. I put the tape, remember guys, these were made from, okay, shh, quiet, Tanya. Tape down, right on the edge there, okay? Line these up, runway, Aurora Borealis, Dichroic, black back. Line up the screen. You can easily see the Dichroic underneath. Tape it down, okay? Enough, not a lot of etching cream. You're gonna push it through the screen and make it less detailed. Etching cream, just kind of smooth it out with your popsicle stick, okay? Smooth it out. See, that's not that too much. Put it down. Take your nylon squeegee. Take half, 45-degree angle. Firm, don't miss it. You get one shot, okay? One shot. Boom. All right. Then what do we do, guys? Take the excess and loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey. I am not etching. It's like if you're going like this. I'm petting a bird. Okay, this is the squeegee. You right? Pretend like my hand is a squeegee and you're petting a bird. Nice. Birds are fragile, right? Okay? You're petting really light. That's all I'm doing. I'm loosey-goosey, right smooth. I'm not trying to push it through. Loosey-goosey. Okay, you can see. Take the excess cream. Set your timer. Boom. This starts now. You don't get to go. This is 8 minutes, by the way, guys. This is Aurora Borealis is 8 minutes. That's in your handouts. Aurora Borealis black cherry is. Okay, put the excess, 8 minutes, pumpkins, 8 minutes, let's see. All right, guys, now I'm going to lift this up, take the glass out, go wash it right away. It's the most important thing. Lift it up, there we go. Off to the sink. Oh, so easy, guys. I'm gonna show you how to put it together. Now I've got this etching cream sitting here on the screen. So you're gonna go pull it tight, boom, get the excess. Take off the tape, just hold it down with your finger, pull the tape, masking tape only, and in my bucket. My timer's still going, you guys can hear that? I got a little bit of time, I got about 20 minutes left. In 30 minutes, I'm gonna rinse them all. I rinse them all. I do not use abrasives, I do not use brushes. I hold the screen in my hand and let the water run down. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Turn the screen over, swipe, swipe, swipe. Very important to turn the screen over. We don't want that etching cream drying in the screen. You know, a few minutes, just boom, boom, boom. You know, a couple times like this with your hands. Just this, guys, that's it. Nice cold water, cool water, boom, boom, boom. Paper towel, dry the screen up. So it's this side up, which will have words on it to print. This side up to dry. Okay, guys, up, up all the time. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead, take my excess, put it back in my jar, and get ready for my next print. Here's the thing. If you're at home, make like 3 printing presses. This is how you do this quickly, everybody. Guys, what you wanna do is, you wanna just take all the same etching times. You'll get it in your PDF. The PDF is what you download on the page of this video at the website. There'll be a little PDF icon. Rainbow 1 is 6 minutes. Take all the rainbow 1s that you have out of your pack and line them up with 3 runways. Take 3 little pieces of glass that are the same, 2 by 2, and line them up. Get the etching cream ready 3 times. Boom, 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 hit the timer. Or 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds over is not gonna ruin it, okay? Now, let's go ahead and cut this up into a pendant. I am quite positive that this is clean. After I rinse off my pieces in a sink, I even go a step further and use alcohol and water mix. That's what we use here in the studio. Okay, and I even go further and I really clean the front and I clean the back. Now this is obviously not one pendant, this could be several. Let's look at a couple things. As I go, guys, there are a couple things I am going to do on purpose. Like I'd like to tell you I dropped that popsicle stick on purpose, but I didn't. Watch this mess. There's still etching cream on here. You don't want this to be crusty on the back, okay? Now, best practices. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I can see, bear with me guys, all right? Like I said, I usually have people filming with me and we don't have that luxury due to the pandemic. So I'm by myself here. I gotta work all these cameras on my phone. Okay, now you can really see. So the edge right there, I missed completely. I missed. I didn't have the glass lined up underneath. So what? We're gonna cut this up. You're not gonna throw this away because that happened. Who cares? Over here, when I pulled down, there's a portion of the design that's missing right there. Okay, I missed it when I pulled the print. So what? Who cares? Get better next time. We're gonna cut this up, guys. This is awesome for a pendant and earring set. You can actually make this a pendant and then make 2 squares and cut into earrings and have the same set. Oh, there we go, guys. So that's in TV land, that seemed very quick, but that's 30 minutes, so I should be going and rinsing my screen. How about a little Dichro dot right there in the middle of the flower? You could tack fuse that on there, a little Dichro dot. Okay, all right, I'm going to show you how I get this beautiful black rim around my piece. So this has no cold working whatsoever. None, nada. Check this trick out and we'll get to the next project. I'm going to make my marks how I want to cut this guy. So let's just go with the triangle shape. We'll just grab this. We're going to use save and use everything, guys, okay? You're going to have your own collection of pattern dichroic on whatever color you chose. So that's pretty cool. I got to make sure. I'm just eyeballing this. You could use a template. Of course you could. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I'll make my score lines and cut and break. Okay, easy peasy. I'm going to keep everything. These could be earrings, whatever. I'm going to clean all this off. But I just want to show you how I got that nice black line around here. You know what? A dichro dot would look really awesome, guys, right there in the center of the flower. You could totally do that. And you know what, guys? I'm going to have to turn the lights on here soon because I see it's getting super dark here. So let's keep going, and then there we go. You can, you know, it's hard to see on camera, guys. You got to trust me that it's there. Okay, so then what I do is, so this will be my top layer. I am not clear capping this. But what I am going to do is cut 2 more shapes that match that. Now, how I get that black line is so I don't have to cold work. Check it out. I kind of go like, it's like a waterfall system. So my second piece, I'm going to need two pieces of black, aren't I, guys? Because I'm using thin, so we got to have 3 layers like we discussed in the beginning. So what I'm going to do is, what should I do? I take a fat black Sharpie, and for my next layer, I trace this. Now, definitely you guys can't see that. You can see the black here. You could use a white marker pen if you need to. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut right outside the Sharpie line. So this piece is bigger than this piece. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it with a white marker so you can see, because that doesn't sit right with me that you can't see that. Okay. Now this is white paint marker. This is really a pain to get off, guys, and you would have to take some oil to get it off, but I'm using it for camera purposes only. Okay, watch. So this is your Sharpie at home, but this is so you can see it on camera. All right, check it out. So now I've marked it, right? You can see the mark. I'm going to cut methodically outside the line, so this piece is just a slightly bigger than this piece. Just a slightly bigger. Did you hear what I said? All right, let me cut this one now. All right, so now I got this piece right here. I can still see the white line, which tells me I did it correctly. And then, look, guys, now, oh, geez, it's hard to see. But this piece underneath is just slightly bigger, okay? But this is only 2 layers. So now, guys, guess what? I'm going to need a 3rd layer because I'm using thin glass. All right, so I take another piece of black, and then I do the same thing. I trace this. There we go. Obviously that wasn't square, huh? Okay, trace it. I don't want you guys using the white marker at home unless you want to clean every piece with Goo Gone. You don't want to do that. There's other things you can do. Just use like, you know, a silver marker, but it's got to be washed completely. This is just so you can see it on camera. Now I cut this. Score and break outside the white line, outside the white line. This is so we don't have to do any cold working. It seems like a long process when I'm explaining every single detail. When you are at home, this is literally going to take you guys 5 minutes to make a pendant, okay? So here I am back. So now I've got 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, okay? And now make sure that all that is clean. Everything needs to be clean before you put it up. You've used etching cream. You know, I don't know, some of you guys probably use oil on your cutters still. You don't need to. And there I am. You can clearly see, guys, that where the white marker is, that's where how much bigger it is than this piece. I am super methodical when I put these together. This is if I want to do no cold working. Now this is a triangle, which is more complicated. Imagine if it was just a rectangle or square, guys. Boom, boom, boom. No cold working. Can you handle that? I said no cold working. That's amazing. Go ahead and use your needle tip bottle. You can find these on the website, and just cheap dollar store hairspray. Burns clean on dichroic, all right? So I just put there, and I just put there, and I just put there, and I just put there. Again, guys, these white markers should not be on. This is just for camera purposes so you can see. Everything is flush. Everything is lined up. Everything. All right? Now that I've got it all lined up, I go ahead and take my top piece and I just kind of center it. You can literally visibly see the black line around it. I full fuse it. That black line comes up a little bit. Let's take a look right here. Boom, you've got your black line. You'll get better and better at it, but that really accents the pendant nicely. No cold working, just a full fuse. Just that, okay? All right, let's move on to the next project. Okay, guys, I had to turn some lights on for you here, so it might get a little bit more of a glare, but we're roughing it. All right. Now, second project, we're going to do what's called an inside-outside pendant. Take a look right here. This is the one that everybody went gaga for on Facebook. So basically, I came up with this idea. I thought, well, why can't I design the screens to have the inside and the outside, the positive and the negative, layer the glass on top, and it gives this incredible shadow effect. It's just awesome, guys. It's awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. I have this coral pendant that I love I did, and I like this with the coral. But since everybody saw this, I want to do it on camera. So I think there's like 6 or 7 of the designs when you buy these screens. I'm going to do more of these because I think these are super fun and it's super easy. All right, let's go. So I'm going to use this black cherry Aurora Borealis with black back, and then I'm going to use this clear blue Aurora Borealis, and obviously on clear. So you're going to have one layer be on the black and one layer be on the clear. So it's this is actually the negative. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just got to have a black piece of dichroic and a clear piece of dichroic. Now, guys, this is so easy and so much fun. All right, I'm going to get these out of my way for the time being because I don't want to confuse things. I'm going to set up my runway. I don't clean the glass right now because I'm really going to thoroughly clean it again after etching. Aurora Borealis, we already had the dichro talk about strong coloring, right? The magenta, emerald green, silver. You know, those are like 11 and 14 minutes. Look at your handouts, my sweets. And see, this glass it's got a pretty good, this screen, a pretty good amount of runway there. Okay. Put the tape on right on the edge. It's the easiest way to do it. Tape first and come right up and make sure that your glass, so you don't miss any portion, is lined up. You can see it right through the screen. No big deal. And guess what? Your glass isn't taped down. You can always adjust it. Just try not to move it. You know, whichever way is easier for you. Okay, good. So these two, I'm going to use. Doesn't have any pink. That's how you know, they're not all, the scrap packs aren't labeled, obviously. What you do know, these are the square packs. I'm not calling them scrap because I love them. But what you do know, I mean, this is quality glass, guys, quality stuff here. What you do know is I can't see any pink. I don't see any magenta, I don't see any emerald green, and I don't see any really bright gold, which is that cyan copper. That stuff takes longer to etch. So if I'm going to etch a bunch, you know, I'm going to use this black cherry, and then I'm also going to use, this is a pink, but I'm going to use a light blue Aurora Borealis, which is over here. And guess what? They both etch at 8 minutes, okay? I could be wrong, guys. The times, look in the handout. That's correct. I've got a, oh my gosh, guys. You guys, this is why it takes a long time to make this stuff, because I'm recording stuff. I've got notes and notes and notes that I've condensed down for you on the etching times, okay? So here we go. This is going to be the bottom portion. I just spread it out evenly. Make sure it goes to the edges or you're gonna miss the edge. It's gonna happen. My squeegee is clean. Remember, guys, you know, you can't hold the glass. You just wanna be firm. Take half of it. Get yourself ready. There's the bump, and 45-degree pull firm. You're not ripping it. You're not yanking. You're pull firm. You're smoothing it out. You're pushing it the thinnest layer through the screen, okay? Then we know what? We take the rest up here and we loosey-goosey that etching cream. Now, someone who started watching this, they'll be like, what the heck is this girl doing? Loosey-goosey. I'm barely, look at it. I'm just barely lightly even putting the excess on there. That's so the thin layer doesn't dry. That's it. Resist the temptation. Resist the temptation, my friends. Your timer should be on right now, by the way. Resist the temptation to do two things. Do not do a double print. So you can always use whatever underneath here, guys. Even if you miss a portion, it's all usable. And do not lift up and check. That's why I made the times for you. That's why I made the times. Of course, I have not tried every scenario. You have to make reasonable decisions about what the coloring is. This will be in your handout. You know, if you're checking and putting it down, up, down with the screen, you're going to smear it and you're not going to get a nice etch. So my timer's going for 8 minutes, so let's let that go. And in the meantime, I'm going to do the clear. Okay, guys, so the black is done. Let's try to get that, or the light hits it. There we go. Looks great, okay? But we want to go ahead and get the positive done. Now, remember, when I'm scraping the excess cream, you're actually printing the table. So, you know, I suggest, I didn't show you guys this at first because truthfully I forgot. But scrap paper just works, and just, you know, rip up some paper, and for each print, you know, then you would just throw the scrap paper. Newspaper, there's got to be something, right? I hate to say index cards, but they would work too. So this is like your little placemat. If because when you take that excess cream away, which we'll soon do on the clear, you can then just take this and throw it away. Otherwise, you're gonna, when you put your next pendant down, you're gonna get etching cream all over the back of your pendant, and it's going to be etched and it doesn't fuse out, okay? So here's my next scrap paper. So I always have a pile of scrap paper sitting right in front of me. You know, this is the way that I work. You will find things, other things work well for you in your studio. These are just things that I'm working out for you guys that I think that are cumbersome, and you know, we want to make it a little easier. All right, now let's go to the clear. We're going to zoom in for the clear a little bit here. Okay, I'm in pretty close, so I got a tight shot. So I've done the Aurora Borealis. Oh, geez, I'm hoping that this, there we go. That's great. Now guys, let's say I have not done every possible combination. It would take me months and months to do that, of how long the etching cream, you know, goes on this color. I've done a lot of them, okay? But you have to make reasonable guesses. If you, and work off the chart I give you. Now let's say that this design should be black, right? Because you're etching, you're taking away the etching cream, and then this is your black glass, right? Then you just have, you take away the metal oxide, which is the dichroic, and you have the glass. So that's good and well. And if you don't etch every area completely all the way through, which means that you did not leave the cream on long enough. When you get into the reptilian and the cool lava, silver, those are really hard to etch. They're stubborn, they take a while, and a lot of times that's how I discovered getting multiple colors, was just taking it off early. Now, I can see up here, this is Aurora Borealis, I believe I said black cherry. So some of the areas are more stubborn than the other areas. This is what was so hard about making those notes for you guys. It just really took a lot of time. So I can see there's a faint little bit of dichroic in some of those areas. I'm okay with that on the black dichroic, on the bottom layers, guys, okay? Now when you get to the clear, this is where it gets tricky. You're gonna get to the clear dichroic, and what's gonna happen is if you don't etch all the way through, let's take this one for example. I actually have a sample right here, okay? Now, when you don't etch, this one's not all the way etched through, it's gonna be cloudy. Okay, it's going to be cloudy. So through these lines, I want to be able to see down here. Through the etch lines, I want to be able to see clearly down here to get that shadow effect. Okay, let's take a picture, look at a picture of this one more time. You can clearly see. If I don't etch all the way through the coloring of the dichroic, I can see on here, and this just takes practice. Let's put the black up. I can see that this should be clear between those bubbles. Let's try to get it. There you go. There you go. That should be clear in that area. That was the glass that was etched away, right guys? If it has a little bit of coloring on it or seems cloudy, it's because you didn't leave it on long enough, okay? You didn't leave it on long enough. Now what's gonna happen is when you fuse these two together, when you fuse them together, guys, it's gonna be cloudy on top and you won't be able to see down through, okay? So we have to make reasonable guesses on the etching cream. Leave it on a little longer if you're unsure, because you don't want to keep on checking it. All right, you'll get it, guys. Don't get frustrated. Keep trying. And you know, if you have a piece of clear that's not etched all the way through, so then just use a piece of black glass. Nothing's wasted. You know, put it on there, put a clear cap on top, and make that the pendant. You know, that's it. You got to deal with what you got, right? All right, so let's go ahead and clear. Let's go ahead and etch the blue Aurora Borealis and put it all together. And don't forget, this is all right from the sink. I can see a residue. I can see a residue on top. Make sure you clean these pieces with water and alcohol. That residue will fuse in here, guys, okay? This is simple if you follow the direction. Oh my gosh, I sound just like my mom. You follow directions, but really it's true. Okay, let's etch the clear. Okay, let's do this quickly. So now we're doing the negative. Okay, I need to find the dichro side. All right, use that piece of black underneath, find the side, flip it over, this is it. After a while, you won't even need that, okay? Make your runway, your scratch papers underneath. This will be in your notes, guys. I'm gonna make a quick start guide for you. Okay, this is my screen. I've got my timer going of when to clean out my screens with water and really rinse those. I cannot emphasize that enough. Front and back of those screens, get that etching out of there. I've had no problems. I've done 110, 12, something like that. If you do that, it will work just fine. Okay, I'm on the clear side of the glass. I'm gonna go ahead and come on down, line the glass up underneath, Tape it down to the table so it doesn't move on me. Lift it up, make sure that glass is, just double check it is. You can also feel it, it's off a little bit right there. Okay, good, it mismatches that perfectly. That's why we made them that size. And now, this is blue Aurora Borealis, and this one is 9 minutes, guys, okay? 9 minutes. Look at the handout, make reasonable choices. Better to over etch by a minute than under etch on the clear, for sure. Clean squeegee, 45 degrees. This is the last time I'm going to go through this, guys. The rest is all going to be designing for the video. Nice and firm, nice and firm. Loosey-goosey. Petting it, petting it, petting that bird, right? Loosey-goosey, just slow. Look at me. I'm not even hardly, just pulling it across so we get a little bit of moisture there. It just helps it so the etching cream doesn't dry, okay? So light. 9 minutes, guys. Let's go 9 minutes and then let's watch this off. Don't check the screen. Trust, 9 minutes. Now, when you get to the point where it's 9 minutes and you want to be sure, you know, a little lift is okay. You know what I mean, guys? But I don't want you ruining this dichroic. So, and if you really feel like, you know, you need another minute, just do it. I'd rather have to do it. If you leave it on too long, it will spread and you will not get a crisp etch. Now, I'm talking like 3 minutes too long here. So, you know, anyways, set your timer for the phone. Let's give this 9 minutes and then let's put the inside-outside pendant together. And then we're going to get into some more complex designing. Okay, guys, so I've got that clear, rinsed off now. You can see, I'm going to put some still photos in, guys, for you. I'm going to have to do that, because it's just so, I didn't realize this would be that hard with the etching and the, you know, I'm talking about the cameras. Okay, so look at that, guys. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now I left a little bit on the edge. When I came down with my squeegee, I kind of lifted up and I wanted to show you because I want to show the contrast. Can you guys see up here? See that? That is dichroic that I didn't even hit with the etching cream. So now you can see. And if that's going to happen to you, this is going to be common at first until you get your technique down. Either you're going to miss it or you're going to over etch it. Cut it off, use it for something else, all right? Now, you've got your black right here, which is your negative, okay? And then you have your clear right here, which is your positive. I can see there's still etching cream on there, even though I rinsed it. You've got to clean it again with alcohol and water. I can't stress that enough. You're going to get a gray hazy piece. Now, it's dichro up here, obviously, right? And now, you don't want to go dichro down. Dichro down would be face-to-face dichro. That's a whole different shebang. It is possible. They say it's not, but it is, if you have enough etched away. But that's not what we're doing for the inside-outside pendant. So, you want the dichro side up, up, and away. Up, and away, everybody, okay? And then you know what? If you did it right, the design will line up perfectly. Let's see. Oh, Nelly. There it is, guys. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Woo! All right, design on each layer. Oh, gosh, this is so good. You guys are going to be so even more amazing in your studio because there we go. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Different layers. Now, I'm going to clean this with some alcohol, and I'm going to show you. The rest of the video is going to be about designing. I'm going to show you different ways to design. I'm going to clean these pieces with alcohol and water. It's just alcohol and water, guys, that we make a little concoction of in the studio. That's all I've ever used to clean my glass. That's all I've ever needed. Okay? You've got to clean with alcohol and water. I put my new piece of scrap paper down for my new etching. We're not going to go over the etching anymore because we've done that enough. Now we're going to talk about design. Okay? Oh, there we go. Now it's nice. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead, line these up. I have to lift it up. And if you line it up correct, if you have the dichro going the right way, come on, baby, where are you? That light, there it is, everybody, okay? If you had it going the wrong way, what is it going to look like? Well, the design, you know, it's not horrible, but the design won't line up. You see that? Okay, so there it is, guys. Now, this could be a pendant for you. This is 2 inches. Now, let me show you a little something else that I do. When I do the inside-outside pendants, I kind of move it over just a tad, the top piece. Just a tad, so you get that black underneath and it looks like a shadow. Okay? I move it over. So here they are perfectly lined up, but I like to move it offset just a smidge so I can get that. This is annoying. get that, that shadow underneath to really create that depth, okay? Now, I probably would cut this into 2 pendants. That's pretty big, this way, that way, triangles. You can get 4 triangles, whatever you want to do, okay? But this is only 2 layer, guys, so we've got a decision to make, all right? So this dichroic should be up, and away, and up and exposed means strong color. Remember that? So do I want strong color? Do I want to cap this with clear, which will mute the color and tone it down, correct? But give it more depth, or do I want to do a powder coat over it? Generally, this is what I like to do with inside-outside pendants. I like to leave the color strong on top because it really says something. I take a base of black or clear, would even work, but black. And then there's layer 1, layer 2, line up the design, layer 3. I would cut this down and then layer them all together, okay? So I've got my dichro strong, color strong, or black base. There's your design all lined up, clear cap, mute the color, but it will be, you know, it will have a little bit more depth in it. I like to go strong. I like to go strong, guys, on the inside-outside pendants, and that's what I do. All right, so now let's get ready and let's get into some designing here. Okay, guys, so now that we have all of the stuff etched that I want to etch, again, I have so much of it, everybody. I'm sure that you will too. We're going to show you, this is about designing, what color to use on top of what color, etc., etc. Then we're going to get to a prism pendant that is super cool. It's going to be super hard to capture on camera, but it's awesome, and it's going to be a good seller for you guys. And then I also want to get to a complex pattern pendant where we'll use the powder dusting. So in the meantime, let's talk about this. So once you've got your pieces etched, just spend a day etching, and then you've got all these beautiful wares. What do you do? This is one of my favorites, guys. Look, I wouldn't even do anything to this. This is, it looks very Moroccan to me. I would just cut this up and let it be a pendant. I really would. Put a little clear cap on top, base underneath there. But let's talk about layering them up, because this is all the pictures that I've been showing you guys have just been simply layering them up, okay? So I do 1 layer of black and 1 layer of clear, and basically, let me just kind of show you how I do this. I have enough selection here to start. I have enough selection here where I can get some good stuff. And remember, one of these is a 2x2, so you've got plenty to work with. All of these pieces are from the 5 dichroic packs that I talked about earlier. I have Aurora Borealis clear, Aurora Borealis black. You cannot go wrong. I'm also going to do a quick etch after this. I lied to you guys. I'm going to do another one on the stripes. The stripes, I think people just do not know how to use. I love the stripes. I made an entire stripes pack because stripes are fantastic to use for etching, guys. Look at all the color gradients in there. I love it. And these areas are not black. People will say, oh, I don't like it. These are actually super dark blue. I love the black areas. I love it especially for layering because I take advantage of those dark areas and put a bright color on top. Stripes are awesome, guys, okay? So I will show you something quick with that. But all right, so basically this is how it goes. If you can't, when you're layering colors of dichroic on top of colors with this technique, if you cannot see the 2 separate designs, you know, by the naked eye, then it's not going to fire correctly, all right? So you've got to pick the right color combination and the right design combination, okay? So let's take this for example. I'll show you on this piece of black glass. This is just so you guys can see better, all right? So let's look at this one, all right? Here's my blue. This is from the bubble screen. And this one is Aurora Borealis black. Here's a nice one too. Let's just lay it out right here. This is Spiral Madness. I cannot get enough of circles, everybody. I really can't. I love them. I've used so many of the clear Spiral Madness that I pretty much don't have any left of the clear. But all right, so now I've got the black, and now first thing I want to do is take clear. I want to start putting patterns over it. So you want to have strong colors that contrast. Okay, so this right here, this is also lines and circles. It's just so simple, and I love it. I'm going to take this. I have to bring it up closer to me. If I can't see both patterns distinctly, okay, and I can see them distinctly here, then it's not worth, you know, fusing. So you can see that. I can see that. This is a strong, this is the stripes right here on top. This is the magenta stripes. Guys, look at the coloring you're getting with those stripes. It's unbelievable. So that would be an option, okay? I literally just lay them out in front of me and I try each pattern. So that's an inside outside. We don't want to use that, okay? And you know what? I'm going to tilt this for you guys. You cannot see the bubbles at all. The bottom color is so strong, that spiral is so strong. That's also a rainbow 2, by the way. It's so strong that it drowns out this top pattern. Why have it then? Now, of course, guys, you could literally, the etching is so cool, you could literally just put clears on top of these, put a base underneath, and call it a day. That's fine and well and great. You're still making your own patterns and colors, make, you know, pendant earring set just out of this. But, you know, since when have I ever been simple, okay? All right, now, so I'm going to check it out on here. Here's another one. Okay, now I can definitely see the contrast there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see the Nautilus, or that's from the mosaic, and the bubbles, but I'm not liking this color. It's a little greeny for me. Can't see anything there. Okay, we got to find a winner here. I've used so much. Okay, that's a good one. I can already tell it's going to be a good one. Okay, let's do this one. So this is, kind of goes, this is from the abstract, okay? And if you guys can see that, I can distinctly see both patterns. You know, flip them the other way. I like that better. Okay, see what you get. Oh, look at that, guys. So cool, so mesmerizing. All right, now, if you went face-to-face dichro to dichro, this dichro fusing face-to-face to this dichro, okay? If you guys have enough etched underneath, they will fuse together. But if you don't, you cannot fuse dichro to dichro, guys, because it repels. For example, here's just a piece of plain dichro. Okay, and if I took a clear and I tried to fuse these two together for whatever reason, they would repel. They would like, they would not melt. They won't melt, okay? Now, if you've got some etched away, check it out, guys, and you want to go face to face, you could, okay? Another way to ensure that is to actually put thin etching cream right on the edge of the black. Thin etching cream. Yes, it will take thin line of etching cream, thin line. Yes, it will remove that, but it will make these two seal if I wanted to go face to face with the dichro. All right, but I really want to cause some depth here between these two patterns. So I'm going to flip my dichro up. Okay, now by doing that, the clear side of the glass is in the middle, and I flipped it up, and I've got some fantastic depth going on. Oh, baby. Okay, now, that's only 2 layers, guys. Back to the beginning of 3 layers. So what can I do? I can leave the dichro strong. How do I leave it strong? You know how to leave it strong. You don't clear cap it. You don't powder dust it. You leave it as is. Your choice, okay? And then, but you're still going to need that base of clear or black on the bottom to make sure that that is a 6mm piece, okay? Or, bear with me, I can go clear on top. If I go clear on top, what's going to happen is I'm going to cause more depth, but I'm also going to mute the pattern color a little bit, okay? You guys will have to experiment. Cut off a couple pieces and see what you want to do. Now, I can also check it out, guys. I could go clear in the middle and then go strong. Oh, that might be the winner. I've caused more distance between the two, between the bottom pattern and the top pattern, giving it more depth. I've caused more distance, okay? I'm a big fan of that one, guys. Big fan of that one, okay? Let me get that going here on the camera. We'll see how much of, I'm gonna edit that out of me complaining about that. Okay, see it? Big time, mama. Big time, mama. Mega depth on that, guys. Mega. And then I would fuse it. Now, I would not go this big. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit so you can kind of get a reality of what I'm doing here, okay? Okay, so I've cut my pieces here. Now I've got 2 pendants. Boom. I can cut these and make these small. Now I've got 4 out of 1 2x2, guys. 1, okay? So I'm gonna go clear in the middle on this one because this is the first time I'm doing this. Hint, hint to you guys. And I'm gonna go strong dichro on top. Oh, guys, I cannot handle it. Why is this the best? Why am I I just love this. Oh gosh, guys, I cannot wait for you to do these. I really can't. Post them in the group, everybody. There's so much depth right now. It's ridiculous, okay? Then I'm gonna go black. Who says I can't get into it when I'm doing videos? I can, right? Okay. Now, maybe this one, I'm gonna go up here in the middle, and then I'll put clear on top. See the difference in the muting. just for you guys to check it out, okay? And boom, there you go. I could cut this down and make this earrings. Guys, this is so good. You're making your own pattern machines. Cut it out, all right? All right, so that's it for designing. So basically, guys, you know, you can just use these on their own. It's just fine. It's just fine like that. But let's start layering. People love Dichro and they love depth. They love glass. They love depth. The clarity, the depth of it, it's beautiful. So, you know, give them a good show. So remember, if you can't see it to the naked eye, you can't see that color and that two designs distinctly, you know, like that one's actually drowning the other one out. No, not good, not good, okay? So Spiral Madness, oh God, I'm telling you what, guys, I did this for 8 hours at my house when I was just getting into it. See, now this guy, it's got a little something showing there. Can you guys see it? But it's gonna drown out, and I know it. Now, here's another tip for you guys. If you see a design that's subtle and you like it, and you're like, okay, you know, I do like that. I'm gonna go ahead. It's not that strong, but I'm gonna go ahead. But it's subtle. What I would do is I would not clear cap this in the end, because then you're gonna take something that's subtle and you're really gonna drown out that color. Make it be Dichro strong, okay? Dichro strong, all right? All right, so that's how you layer those up. 3 layers, here we go. Super simple. If you have a strip cutter, guys, you will be cutting these up and making pendants so fast. I know the video seems long. It's not the reality of the situation. It takes 5 minutes to make one of these once they're etched. I mean, it takes boom, boom, done. Put it together, lots of them. Best day ever. So let me just say this. I would make a bunch of these, bunch of stuff. Look at the stripes, guys. Look at that. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's the stripes, guys. That's what the stripes does for you. So I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to interject something here that was not planned. I'm going to show you something super cool. We're going to call it, what are we going to call it? We're going to call it a half etch, okay? This is one of the ones I showed online. The people were going crazy, okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Reptilian. This is Reptilian. That's Reptilian before it's etched, okay? Here's another stripes. Now here's the cool thing about the stripes. They are a pain in the butt. They're not a pain. It takes longer to etch the design into them because, guys, there's so many layers of metal oxides. Now let's talk about this. Here's a silver guy right here, okay? This silver guy actually is red in between the design. Why? When you have dichroic glass, okay, what is dichroic glass? It is plain glass, and they put layers of metal oxides together. It's a recipe, and they add these layers of metal oxide on top, okay, to create the coloring. This is called a tooling. A tooling is what they use after the coloring or during the coloring to make the designs. Now, if you had many layers, red, silver, blue is many, many layers of metal oxides to create the silver. Now, if you started peeling away those layers, right? You'd have a lot of layers to get down on some of these coatings to get down to the glass, right? It's the same thing. So for the stronger colors, which they'll take the longest to etch, Reptilian, Silver, Rainbow 2, Magenta, anything with magenta, Cyan Copper, Silver, Reptilian, what's the other one I'm looking for that I can't even think of what the heck it is right now? Cool Lava. Oh my God, I love doing Cool Lava. These are all in the Mega Tanya pack, okay? This is all stuff. Tropical Rays is amazing to etch into. All of these guys, they're all, just read on the internet what's in each pack, okay? Everything is amazing to etch into that in the pack, but these are really strong colors. They take a lot of, so you got to peel back the layers to get all the way through. So I thought, well, what's going to happen? I thought to myself, well, I know that concept. So what happens if I etch one of these and I don't let it etch all the way through? I stop it, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes in, and what I was capturing were multicolor, even more multicolor dichroic pieces. So instead of etching all the way through to the black glass, I'm actually leaving it on for 4 minutes, and I'm letting what will be and catching a multitude of colors. And that's what you guys are seeing using the smoke screen here. This one is called, or the fog, I'm sorry, it's called the fog. And then I did that on the Reptilian, and it was just amazing, okay? All right, so how about this? Why don't I do one? I gotta do one. I mean, I can't just say it, right? So let's do this. Let's set up a multi-etching press. And I still wanna show you the Prism Pendants and then the multi-layer Oh, you're gonna love it. Stick around, guys. If you need a break, take a break and come on back, because I'm just getting started. I'm just getting into the good stuff here. All right, here's 3. Let's do 3. Should we do 3, or is that too much? I'll show you how I do 3. Okay, you want to see 3? I'll show you how I do 3. I wasn't even planning on this. Okay, so I'm gonna need 3 runways. So first of all, I'm gonna want to put down my scrap glass. I don't know, guys. This remains to see. This might be too long of a video. We'll have to see. So I got my scrap down here. Guys, let's do 2. I think I'm not going to have enough room in the camera to do 3. All right, but that's the red cyan, which I love. I love it. The stripes. Woo woo, so good. Okay. I don't know what you want to do. Okay, and that's the magenta stripes. That's in the stripe pack. In the stripe pack, it's all stripes, baby. All right. So I got my little placemat of scrap paper, my runway. All right. And then I'm going to speed this up, guys. All right, guys, this is a little extra here. I wasn't planning on doing this. I thought we were done with the etching, but so I'm going to do 4 minutes. We're going to call this, why don't we call it a rainbow etch? Yeah, I like it, okay? So I'm going to go 4 minutes. I'm just going to hold it for 4 minutes. If I held it for 6 minutes, so these are normally 10, 11 minutes. I don't know. It's in the handouts, but some of them are, like the magenta's 14 minutes. I'm going to take it off in 4 and see what happens. Ready? Boom. Okay, and then loosey-goosey. Right? And then boom, 1 time. It looks like nothing's on there, but you know, this stuff's translucent. Loosey-goosey, 4 minutes. Hit the clock, okay? Let's go. All right, guys, so that's my 4 minutes. So let's see what we get. Time is of the essence here. I'm gonna take these out and go rinse them. And you know, if you over etch, so what? It's gonna go etch all the way through. Who cares? You can't lose with this. Mess around with this, okay? So let's go, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. Let's go rinse. Let's see what we get. Okay, guys, we're back with the results. I'm going to tell you why I love stripes right now, okay? Okay, this is going to be, I'm going to have to bring this in. All right, now 4 minutes. Let's look at these side by side. We'll probably end up going to some still shots with this, but, oh, geez, look at that. I got stuff on it. Oh, I can't. I'm so excited to show you the stripes that I didn't clean it nicely. All right, so I've rinsed it with water, but look at the residue there, guys. You really got to clean it. Okay, now the rainbow etch. We're calling this rainbow etch. In your notes, it'll be rainbow etch. I just changed my mind. It's not half etched because you're getting a rainbow of colors, right? Okay, let's leave this wet for a second to see. All right, so this is, oh man. All right, guys, we got a lot of stuff going on here. So we took the etching cream off early, okay? And now we've got the areas. The design started to etch in, but I didn't let it go all the way through, guys. And I'm capturing in areas of gold, rainbow, teal, purple, all in the etch. So if this was etched all the way through, the design would be black. You can still see the design, but it's actually just a myriad of colors. Yeah, we'll get you a good shot. Oh, that is awesome. Now, this is okay to do, and then just cap it and put a base underneath it and be done, guys, if you want to do rainbow etch. Rainbow etch works with strong colors only, okay? Rainbow 1 is just gonna etch too quickly for you. You're not gonna be able to do it. Silver, reptilian, everything, Rainbow 2, this is exquisite. This is like a ghost image. Now I could have gone probably 6 minutes on this. That's because of that magenta. When you guys see in your notes, that magenta is about 14 minutes to etch. That's really some strong coating there. This is actually a ghost image of the design on top of, this is exquisite. So that was 4 minutes. So I would record that in my book and say 4 minutes for the pink stripes, magenta, whatever you need to do to resonate with it. You get the same, you know, colors in every single pack. This is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so I could probably go 2 more minutes. I've got some of the black here. Why is this area black and it etched all the way through and the pink was barely touched? It's actually got tones of red and ruby in there now. Because, guys, This is the darker blue. This is less coating. This is less coating through here, so it etched through, and over here it did not. But the magenta turns purple and ruby red. Awesome. So play with that. Now, guys, if you did this on the clear and you wanted to layer them up and you didn't etch all the way through, the rainbow etch, you don't want to do that on the clear if you're layering. It will block out what's underneath. I hope you guys understand that. Play with it. You know, anything that you guys could just put clear on that. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, really cool. All right, so that is the rainbow etch, which is using strong colored dichroics. Look in your handout, guys. I'm very thorough with my stuff. You'll see everything in there. And go between 4 and 6 minutes and play around with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. In other words, if you left it on too long, all it's going to do is etch through, and you use it as a pattern piece. That's what I've been teaching the whole time. You can't lose on it. You can't lose. Silver blue stripes is awesome. Cyan red stripes is awesome. Okay, so do that one too. All right, I get pumped up more as I move on, as you guys couldn't see. All right, this is a very loose kind of program here, isn't it? Okay, so now, guys, we're going to do two more, guys. More with the designing. Let's do the prism pendants. Love the prism pendants. Okay, so the prism pendants, I still have to grind these. These are, but I'll show you when they're all done. I love prism pendants because on the skin, if you can see that, it's a rainbow effect. Let's go up real close here, okay? And it gives an opal. Everybody loves fire opals, guys. I'm telling you, these are gone. If you're selling these are gone. These are prism. Look at that. So you're gonna get it's like prismatic. It's the only way I could come up with. All we're using is clear, and I'll show you a little trick to it. And you're going to just cut these up, put a nice little bail on there, little pinch bail on there, and call it a day. Let's try to get super close here. Super close. All right, let's try to see what happens. Can you guys see those? Look at it. They just look like prisms. There's a rainbow effect inside. It's just clear, and it's just beautiful on the skin. When you have these in the sunlight, it's going to be unbelievable. You're going to catch a different pattern and a different color all the way. There, look at. Oh, yeah. All right, prism. Prism, here we go. All this is clear patterns all the way up, okay, that you've etched. Okay, let's get a few out here. And there is a trick to the design. And again, this will be in your handouts, but we're going to say it quickly here, okay? So for the prism, you are using one layer of unetched dichroic, not etched. That's going to be your bottom layer. And then you're going to have 2 layers of patterns on top. That's it. No black at all. No black. We want to get that prismatic effect, that prism, that rainbow prism. So out of the dichroics that you're using, your strongest dichroic out of the 3 colors. So this is strongest meaning color-wise, okay? Silver. Let's do silver because that way it really shows, okay? So we've got silver. I'm going to use silver. And let's say I want to use this. This is the Cyan Copper Aurora Borealis. And then I go, you know what? I want to throw in, I'm running out of dichro here. Can you believe it? This magenta, okay? This magenta stripes, all right? So I take a look at my dichro and I go, all right, I want to use these 3 colors. I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. And I'm going to take my strongest one of the palette, which is this one. That's going to be your bottom layer, which is going to have that reflective property. Then what I'm going to do is etch the other 2, okay? So just etch a bunch, just like I told you. This is nothing real exciting here. Leave this unetched, okay? And then work on a piece of black, a black t-shirt, black piece of a construction paper. It's the only way, guys, you're going to be able to see this while designing, okay? So I've got my silver, first layer, second layer. Let's see, I've got this nice little kind of swizzle stick with magenta here. Can you guys see that? There we go. There we go. And I think I'm going to try this over here, the Spiral Madness. Same rules apply. If you cannot see these patterns on top of each other, like I taught you the second time, then you're not going to be able to see the prismatic, okay? So I can look at, guys, when I'm going around, look at there it is. I see perfect Spiral Madness, and I perfectly see the line, little sizzle lines there. It reminds me of sizzle smoke from cartoons, okay? So that means it's going to work. This will fool you. If you kind of go on top of here, you'll be like, you know, I can't really see it. Just take your 2 patterns, all clear. Now here is the stuff. Ready? Dichro up, dichro up, dichro up. Okay, up, up, and away from the bottom. That's kind of up, up, and away. It's okay. Now I've got these three, and they're going to do these crazy, like, it's like a light show off of the, you know, kind of pinging off the silver. Up, up, up. I do not clear cap these, you know, because you're working on clear. I do not clear cap these, and you could powder dust them, but I just leave them strong because they're so subtle, and it's really a great look. It's impossible. I was trying to take pictures of these guys. They're so crazy awesome. I couldn't get pictures. I put some on the internet, and they were terrible, and I spent half a day doing it, and I was so frustrated. But they're in person. You're gonna have to, okay, that's a good one right there. Let me see if I can get up close. Okay, I bet you the camera won't even zoom in on this. Yeah, it won't even, it's not even picking it up. That's crazy. You guys have to take my word for it. Or maybe this will look better when I'm done shooting. But from the light I got here, okay, there we go. That's a good one. All right, look at that. Yeah, so anyway, you know, these should be, oh gosh, guys, stop it. All right, plain, plain, plain. So what I do, I like to make these into skinny pendants. I think that they're nice for all ages. So I'm gonna cut these real quick for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna cut these into some skinny guy. I really like the long rectangular bar for the, you do whatever you want. So, you know, I could get three, definitely three out of the 2-inch, okay? So then it's just, guys, once these are etched, this is easy peasy. The hard part is gonna be, what do you wanna etch on what color? That's why just take all your dichroic, put the 2x2 squares in front of you, put all your screens in front of you, etch. Don't forget, it's not a big deal. If you want to, you know, you don't etch one at a time, guys. Why would you do that? You'd etch everything you got, right? But if you want it, you know, rinse them off front and back. I cannot stress that enough. Rinse those screens off. Rinse the screens off. Wash the pieces off. No residue, okay? Work area. Have an area where you're cleaning, an area where you're etching. Move away from the etching area. I'm forced to because I have a, you know, a camera angle here that's not, that's super close, so it's tight, but you know, I etch over and then I move over to the table and I put them all together. You know, there's powder kind of hanging out here. I don't like any of that. I like this to be nice and clean and perfect and away from that etching. So, and just make your little prisms, guys, okay? Just go ahead, use your hairspray if you need to. These will fuse beautifully. That schedule's in your handouts. You guys are gonna need those handouts, boy, because you're gonna not wanna mess up this dichroic. If you don't leave it on long enough for the clear, what are you gonna do when you pull the screen away? You know, you can still use it. Like I said, if you have a piece, let's do a little, there we go, guys. And just fuse, just full fuse it. And then you would, you know, do your thing and make it pretty, okay? All right, with the grinder is what I'm saying. You know, again, let's find a piece. I've got a piece right here. I mean, this is gonna be a longer class than I anticipated, I guess. Where is it? Okay, here it is. I got a piece right here, guys. This is not fully etched. I did not leave the cream on long enough. So when I first started, I keep everything to show you guys, okay? I'm gonna bring that, probably gonna try to get a still shot of that one too, but you know, it's not etched all the way through. If it's not etched all the way through, everybody, you know, and you're trying to layer the piece, it's not gonna work because you're not gonna be able to see what's underneath. Thus that, okay? You won't see it, all right? You will not see it. So, you know, it's not all is lost. All you're gonna do is take that piece and you're gonna go down onto a piece of black and cut it and make it a pattern piece of jewelry. What's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. Everything is usable. All right, guys, so we did the half etch, the rainbow etch, and now, guys, we're gonna do the final pendant of designing, which you are really gonna get into, and basically, we're gonna do a powder coating on top, and I'm gonna get a little funky, okay? So let's go to Funky Town. Okay, guys, this is my favorite thing to do, and this is layering up the patterns to a multi-dimensional pendant with multi-patterns. I've been doing this for about 15 years now. Here's the difference. I didn't have these etching screens before, and I was actually making my own patterns with stickers and going one sticker at a time, making little pieces, cutting with scissors. Wow, I mean, this has really come a long way, you know? So I thought to myself, you know, that is such a great technique. And then, you know, we were in quarantine and I thought, my God, I think I can make patterns out of the screens and use etching cream. Will it work? Let's check it out. And it did. So that's pretty awesome. So I've got a little bit of this and that. I save everything. These are my little bits that I have. This is going to give me quite a few pendants, but this is where I start getting more funky and more advanced. So I'm going to walk you through it, and you guys can just make rectangular pendants if you want to start, to make it easier. I'll do a little bit of a odd shape, and so this is going to be a lot of fun. So there's our black glass. I'm going to push that out of the way for now. And I have a piece of thin black scrap here. And I'm going to use any jewelry template. We've got some excellent jewelry templates on our website, guys. You do not need a saw. You need a grinder if you're going to do this. That's it. You know, this is, you do not, and the first pendant I showed you, you didn't even need a grinder, did you? So if you can cut, guys, pay attention to your cutting. I'm going to use the edge of the glass there and cut relatively well. You will not even have to do anything. So again, if you guys wanted to pre-make your pieces bigger and then cut with a ring saw, of course you could do that too. A lot of people don't have ring saws, so I'm trying to make this for, you know, accessible to everyone, but you guys with ring saws know you can do that. Okay, I'm gonna mark this out and cut this up. Okay, so here's two things. Oh, not bad, guys, okay? Here's two things that are going to be your best friend. This, the hairspray, and then your grozers. Do you guys know what grozers are? Breaking plier and grozers. Grozers are to take little pieces off. They're not for breaking down. That's what makes the glass shatter, just pulling little pieces off. This is for breaking big pieces, okay? This is not for breaking glass. This is for breaking glass. All right, so I've got nothing planned here. I'm gonna wing it, guys. True story, all right? I'm gonna make sure my base is clean. See, I've got etching dust. I can see it. It's driving me nuts right now. So don't work in a small area. Or, you know, etch all your stuff, and then, obviously, I've got stuff all around that you guys can't see, you know, for all the video supplies, but, and then change your paper, or, you know what I mean. All right, guys. Now, I tell this to my students, and anybody who takes a jewelry boot camp with me next year. We have lots of dates, and we're gonna rock it. We're gonna add this into the boot camp, this whole thing we're doing, okay? So, I tell them when they do etching and they're building, I say, glue as you go, okay? If you're one of those people that is, you know, you gotta kind of just roll with it here, okay? You can't have meltdowns on me, all right? Because, you know, if you have things moving around when you're trying to build, you know, it's going to cause you an issue. It's like putting a puzzle piece together, okay? And your Sharpie is also very good because these will mark your cut lines. All right, I'm winging this, guys. So looking at my pattern bar here, let's pull this back down. I want to stay close on the shot here, so let's see what I can do. I'll make it pretty basic, but I really get into this one. So we're going to layer the pattern. So your first layer is going to be your thin black, and then your second layer is going to be your etched thin black of your own patterns, okay? If you are a stained glass person, you are probably an awesome cutter, and you will be amazing at this, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I just start kind of putting things on here and seeing how it goes. So I like this, also one of my favorite patterns. All right, and I use my Sharpie to make my cut lines. The Sharpie will burn off if you're going to full fuse temperatures. I'm cutting right on that Dichroic side. What do you think of that, everybody? Little bit of, you gotta kind of love it. Don't rearrange things and get crazy with it, guys. The hairspray will dry in 30 minutes. So it starts to get tacky and then messy, and then you're in trouble. So just kind of go with it. I've got a piece hanging off right there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mark that, and I'm gonna make it nice, okay? I got the hairspray still on there, I'm aware of that. Okay, little piece needs to come off. Grozers right here with the smiley face, right? We call the smiley face. Curve jaw down. Don't break down, you just pull out. See that? You didn't see stuff going all over the place, you just pull out, okay? That's how you use that. All right, now I've got the first piece down to the puzzle. All right, we'll make this super simple. I love this circle one too. Like what I tell you guys, circles, lines. This is a nice piece of glass right here. This is on the Reptilian. Came out real nice. Now, I'm probably going to have a problem with that cut right there, but let me show you how to get through it, all right? You know, this can get tricky, but let's go for it. This can be a little hard, but you guys will graduate up to this. I'm using my Sharpie, marking the edges of the glass, right? Take it off. I don't have too much hairspray on there. I have enough to kind of let it swim for a little bit. I keep everything, guys. I keep everything. Every little piece can be used. Later, you're going to build up a nice stockpile there. Okay. I got enough hairspray on there. I'm just going to kind of let it be. Okay. Now, there's going to be little tiny gaps. You're not going to have perfect cuts. That's ridiculous to think you would have perfect cuts. All right. And that's okay. Let's let it be. You might get a tiny air bubble there. I'll give you guys a schedule with a good bubble squeeze. As you can tell, I haven't finished writing my handouts yet. So let's see. We've got this kind of cool, modern, retro design. We've got this circles. And now for this bottom area here, and this can be as many pieces as you want. You know what? I'm actually going to, I've got some Spiral Madness over here. That might be too much circles. As I said, guys, I am winging this. I did not plan. You know, how about that nice? Nah, changing my mind. Yeah, let's go with this because I can get real picky. All right, check it out, guys. See that curve? How are you going to fit that in there? How are you going to fit this in to fit that, okay? So here's what I do. I take the piece that I'm trying to fit it into, okay? And I put it on, and I trace that bottom of the piece. I trace the curve. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if you don't want to get into it this much, all you got to do is cut strips of all this, and layer them up the way that I said. Okay, so now I trace the bottom of the piece that you want to fit it into. Put that back on there. Look at that, guys. It's perfect. Okay? That's a little tricky, kind of a tricky thing. You'll get it. You'll get it. And then I make my cut lines here. All of this is usable. Okay? And use your edge of your base. Your base has to be cut first. That's pretty much your guideline through the whole darn thing, okay? All right. Make sure your glasses are on, right, everybody? Your safety glasses. Now I can clearly see the edge of the piece. And I just mark it out with my Sharpie. You know, a rough idea. Look at that, guys. Okay? I won't get so, a little bit of hairspray there, okay? All right, that is a rough layer 2. So I got my base. Now look at this. I've got this hangover right here. I really want to fix that. I want to take that off. Use your Sharpie. Let's take that off. Let's be right about this. Okay, so I have a very little piece right here that I'm trying to get off. I don't use my breaking pliers. That's not going to happen. You can sit here and go like this all day long. That's not happening, guys. You got to use the grosers. That's what the grosers are for, okay? Curved side down, all right? Now that's going to, it's real. Oh, look at that, guys. That's how you use a groser, okay? This is so I don't have to grind a bunch later. I got a little piece there that I missed. Just pull that off, okay? I didn't have that part scored. Okay, guys, this is right there at layer number 2. I'd superimpose the camera for you. All right, that is it. Now let's go to the third layer. That's layer number 2. Let's go to the third layer. Your third layer, guess what, guys? It's going to be clear. It's going to be clear, okay? I could take a whole piece and go right over and go like this. I could piece it up any way that I want, but the idea is you don't want anything too busy. You want to be able to see what's going on underneath, right? So this has to complement. Everything has to complement. That's too much. There's too much dichro on that piece. So normally I use the busier pieces on the bottom and the less busy pattern pieces on the top. I really like this mosaic. I think that that's a nice touch going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, make it pretty simple for myself. And I'm going to go like this. Use that Sharpie. Okay, now all these pieces were cleaned. You saw me do it. So try not to get them dirty. If you do, you're gonna have to clean them again. All right, guys. Look at that, guys. Here we go. This reminds me of the old days. Oh my goodness, guys. I used to do this all the time. I can't believe that. I gotta be honest, when I came up with the screens, I even said to John, I said, I can't believe I just came up with that. Look at this one. This is a good one because this has been years I was making patterns with stickers, and you're really limited. There's not a lot of stickers. There's no sticker out there, guys, that looks like this. You know? So this is endless possibilities. I think I need this rainbow spiral madness right there. So there's a lot of openness here because I etched away a lot, right? So do you go up, dichro up or dichro down? It's up, up, and away. I hope I didn't scare you off with this. This is a very detailed. This is a little harder, but that's okay, guys. You graduate up to it. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to do it. Let me refresh you. Take the cool etchings that you did, put some clear cap over it, base underneath, cut it up, call it a day. You don't have to. You don't have to do the prisms. You don't have to do all that. There's 5 different ways to design in this video, right? This is and then you pop the video back in and you go back and you do some more. I'm going to take that Sharpie off there because it's distracting me. Let me get it with designing here. All right. Okay, a little bit of hairspray. A little bit of hairspray. Make sure your work area is clean, guys, from that etching when you're done etching. This is becoming a chaotic mess up here and it's stressing me out. Okay. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go in. Let's zoom in on this guy. So here is, I could sit and do this all, guys, I don't even talk. I mean, can you believe it? I would shut my mouth. I could sit here and do this, right? Just this all day long. All right. Now we've got some seams here that this is awesome. We've got some seams here that we've created right there. And we also have 3 layers of glass. Okay. Leading up to the grand finale here, guys. Okay. We have a base piece right here underneath, a whole layer of black pattern and a whole layer of clear pattern. Okay. What are we going to do? If we add, we got to get rid of that seam. The only way to get rid of the seam is to add more glass on top because it'll join together, but you'll still probably see a seam line after fusing. Guess what you do? Powder over it. Clear powder over it, guys, okay? So now what I want to do is go ahead. I want to take a red sifter. Let me get the red sifter. Okay, guys, so what I have here is just a red enamel sifter with some clear powder. Way more than I would ever need, but I need to get enough in there to show you. Now, this is important to say. You do not want to use, normally you take a tool, you vibrate the handle, and that's how the powder comes out. That's not what you want to do here. This is just a tap, tap, tap. You are just covering this enough, one layer, guys, to be able to make that seam and to give that kind of smooth layer on top, okay? I want to get rid of that seam right there. You're still going to see the design come together. It looks awesome though, but this is just kind of to smooth everything out. Now, if you do too much powder on top of powder, especially clear or any translucent, as I just did, firing can get cloudy, okay? So this is, check it out. Ready? It's boom, boom, just tapping. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so I've got it to where it is just enough. There's a little bit. I can just barely see, like 2 thin layers, just barely see the image. I mean barely. I mean, my eyes are close, okay? That's it. Just a nice tap, even layer across, and then we're gonna full fuse, all right? If you're boom, 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 I was so light, guys. So look at that, so light. That's gonna be full fuse. That schedule will be in your handout, and that's layering, pendants. And, I can show you guys some of the finished ones that I have. And these are even some of the ones that I did before the screens. I was hand etching. It would take me 3 hours, guys. 3 hours to make the patterns, then etch, then put it all together. So what, 4 or 5 hours for a pendant? Crazy. So with these screens, this really opens up quite a bit of a new territory for everybody. So, all right, guys. So that's about it for that. Okay, guys, I just want to touch on some cold working tips very quickly. This is probably top 3 emails that I receive is problems or questions with cold working your jewelry. When you guys are cutting these pendants up, try to cut as close as possible. Use a strip cutter for squares and rectangles, or your T-square, something angular. But if you are in a situation that you do have to grind your pieces, there's just a couple things that I want to point out. And also something very, very important, so please continue to listen, regarding the pieces that you have strong color dichroic on the top, which means unprotected by the clear cap glass. First of all, when you guys are grinding, you should always be using a fine grinder head, or a medium grinder head will work, as long as, I believe some companies call them standard, as long as they're not brand new, they've been worn down a little bit. This will cause chipping on your piece if you use a coarse grinder head or a new standard grinder head. Here's the situation with that. If it causes chipping, and if you have a piece of dichroic that you have not clear capped, such as the strong dichroics, which we've done a couple of them in this video, if you are in a position that you have to grind, guess what's going to happen? It's going to chip the dichro on the sides a little bit. It's easily fixable, but you have to kind of angle it at a 45 degree. So you definitely want to use a fine grinder head, especially with the exposed or the strong color uncapped dichroic when you're grinding, so it doesn't chip. You should always be doing, when you're done and you have your piece grinded to the shape that you want, you should always be leaning the pendant in just a little bit towards the edge at a 45 degree angle and kind of edging the piece. I don't like to call it a bevel because it's not a true bevel. It's just edging the piece at a 45 degree angle. After you are done grinding, you're going to need to fire polish your piece. I'm going to include a fire polishing schedule for you. There's several of them in my videos. Your fire polishing, guys, should be done on kiln washed shelves. Part of the reason that people are getting hazing on the edges of their pieces, that's when you fire polish and then you get that gray hazing. They don't look shine and glossy. Is because when you are grinding your pieces, guys, you are opening up pores in the glass. If you use too coarse of a grinder head on it, the temperature that you're going to for fire polishing isn't going to get that gray hazing out of there that you've made with the grinder head. A fine grinder head will stop that. Also, omit the thin fire when fire polishing. Several times I've had people say, I don't believe that, but it's absolutely true. I have done thousands of pendants, guys, in my career of 15 years, and I'm telling you, take away the thin fire and just fire polish low on a kiln wash shelf. And guess what? Your fire polish schedule is so low that I'm providing that it will not cause the kiln wash to come up. So it's excellent. It's a great tip. I'll put this in your handouts as well as far as tips for cold working. Okay, guys, so here's the setup for drilling holes. And what I'm going to show you is how to use the Recollections eyelets and put them in your pieces for a nice finishing touch. That's these guys. They're found at Michael's, and there's no size on them. It just says Recollections. I'm going to use a 2mm drill bit. And if the hole's not big enough, you can actually just kind of work the hole a little bit, and I'll show that. So this is just a shallow Tupperware container, just an old school sponge. I call them from the 70s. That's what they remind me of. And, you want the water not to be overflowing on the sponge or you're going to get wet big time. What you want to do is just see how I'm pushing my finger down and it's enough. It fills it up. Okay. And, the water is just to the top of the sponge, but not, totally submerged. Okay. So I have my pendants here, which I have marked the holes with a white Deco paint marker. Do not skip this step, guys. Do not get cocky. That's what I tell my students, because many times I've been off center and you roll a whole piece. You just put a hole right through it. So be careful with that, guys. All right. And then I've got a Dremel over here with a flexi shaft, and you don't need the flexi shaft. You could just have the Dremel, just a household Dremel, and then you just hook up the 2mm bit to it. And so let me just go ahead and show you this real quick. I'll turn the sound down, and then I'll do a voiceover so you don't have to have the voice over the sound. Okay, guys, when you go at this pendant, you want to make sure that your Dremel is on high speed. Slow would cause an issue. High speed is good. What you're going to do is come in at a 45-degree angle and make the little divot, and then slowly put your Dremel up, as you see here, 90-degree perpendicular to the pendant. All you're going to do is press down with a firm pressure. Do not push too hard or you're going to crack off the top of your piece, and that should not happen. It takes about 10 seconds to get through. That's a safe bet. There it is, right there, already done, okay? That's all you got to do. Let's look at it one more time with this large, colorful piece. 45-degree angle. Get your divot in there. Slowly raise your hand. And then proceed to just press down. If you happen to crack off the top of your piece, it's absolutely because you were pushing too hard and it was just too much pressure and heat for the glass that caused it to crack. If that happens, you'd have to cut off the top of the pendant and make a smaller pendant. So yeah, it's pretty easy, guys. And lastly, guys, I just want to talk about the rivet, kind of a fake rivet that's in this pendant right here. This pendant is from the Supernova video that we have, another jewelry series that I did. And basically that's what it is. You drill a hole in the top and then you put the Recollections eyelets in the hole. I use a airplane modeling glue. Just look it up on the internet. They have it at all the hobby stores. Anyone will do. They have precision tips and they're liquid glue. I drop in there, pop the eyelet in, and I let it dry overnight. That's it. And then I put a pinch bail in there. It gives it a really, really classy look, and you don't have to worry about bails falling off from the back. Also, do not use super glue. Super glue leaves a nasty white residue when it's dry, and the stuff is just garbage. Don't use that. Guys, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed everything. I had a really, really good time the past 6-7 weeks going through experiments for you guys. I'm on a roll with jewelry right now. I just put out 5 videos creating depth and lots of stuff, guys. Guys, thanks so much for your support, always, not just during the pandemic, but always. Thank you for your support. And we can get all your supplies at aaeglass.com, where we have over 50 videos in our library. Some paid classes where those are professionally filmed, not like you've seen here today with videographers and, chapter selection. And we have videos with world famous glass artists. And just come check us out, guys. Thank you very much and have a great time. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone.